What's going on, boxing world? It's your boy R-Man Boxing. We're back with another boxing conversation. Sorry, I had to cut the last stream short because for some reason StreamYard was hating on the kid, but it's all good. I am back on, and now it's time to talk boxing again. I wanted to talk about basically how every group can support their own group besides their own. I mean, besides black folks. You know, especially me. People see me on Twitter and they see me supporting my own, support Marcus Brown, Wilder, the Charlos, Javante Davis, Haney, and all. Of course, I support my people, not only because they're black, because they're very talented. And occasionally I get fans saying, hey, man, do you only support black fighters? Do you only support black fighters? I mean, geez, there's several other fighters. Why you guys only support black fighters? You know what I'm saying? And then it makes me think, like, hold on, man. Wait. Hold on. Is it a problem that I'm supporting my own? Because I'd never, ever see y'all go out there to those other groups and talk about how they support their own. That it just don't make any sense to me. But we got a special guest in the building.
What up? What up,
My
though?
dog, Lazy Lefty OG. What's going on, man?
What up,
What's
though?
going on,
You got
man?
some earbuds in or something? Because you still getting that crackling on your mic.
Still starting crackling. Man, I don't even know, man. I honestly don't know. Maybe because I got all these links open. Hold on, let me close. Let me close out.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably why I had so many links open. And let me back.
Yo.
Yeah, okay, I'm back in. I don't know what's up. This shit's just tripping, but we gonna keep on rocking.
Yeah, it ain't too bad though.
But shit, man. Let me let some people know we ain't here live. But what's on your mind now?
Ah, what the fuck, man? Shit. I don't even know what the fuck you was talking about. I just came in. I just seen you drop the link, so I said, let me come in and holler at
You
you.
just dropped the link. Fuck, I thought you was gonna come in here with some insight, but it's all good. I was just talking about basically like, you know, we're closing out the year and we still having the same old conversation of why you only support black fighters, you only support black people. It's like, dude, why is it a problem when we support our own? Dude, I don't understand that shit. We still having this conversation.
It ain't no problem. The problem is the only problem is, man, look, motherfuckers expect you or expect black people as a whole. Black people as a whole got this situation. Well, I should say black. Black. When I say black people, I'm speaking to strictly black Americans because that's all I know. That's what I grew up as. That's all I know. But
Exactly.
growing
Come
up,
on.
growing up in this system is we got this mentality that because the world has been so unfair to us, when we finally get in positions of power, we got to be fair. You know what I'm saying? We got to show that we're fair.
We gotta be fair. We gotta be the moral police.
Yeah. So when you be on the type of shit that they on, then it surprises them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So when you get on that type of shit, they be surprised because the world not used to seeing us like that. They used to seeing us as subservient and trying to be the more, like you said, the moral high ground and shit like that. But I stopped playing them motherfucking games a long time.
Me too. I stopped playing them games and I just been keeping it 100. And there's people that'll come at me and say, hey, Artman, but you got Latino clientele and this and that. And I'm like, the people that shop with me, they understand that. Of course, I'm going to support my own like they support their own.
Yeah,
The hell?
and you know what, motherfuckers, they really low key, they really be respecting you for that shit though, because they don't respect them kiss ass niggas, man. They do not respect them kiss ass niggas. They
They
accept
don't.
them because
They don't. They tell us,
the minute they say something that's outside the norm, They turning on them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. You know, and that brings me to something that I said earlier. I said something to the effect that like they expect black folks to basically be the person that get walked on and not do any of the walking.
Exactly.
They expect us to lay low, to take all the beatings, all the criticism, and not speak out against it. And you know, sometimes when I go back, because I do my research and I study some of these old fights, and I look at some of the interviews from Dan Raphael talking about Floyd Mayweather from back in the day, it makes me so frustrated because I'm like, where was, you know, people like the LDBC and myself and whoever around those times to call that bullshit out?
There wasn't nowhere. There wasn't
Because
nobody to
they were
call it
talking
out.
crazy about Floyd back in the day and several other fighters.
And the black writers that they did have, they were always, you know, back then it wasn't like the social media where anybody could say whatever they want to say. So the black writers that they did have were approved, and they couldn't say anything to, you know, they didn't want to lose their spot. You know, it's basically really any black person you see on TV or in any type of position of power that's been appointed by white people, you can't really, you they in that position for a reason.
I totally get what you're saying. It was a lack of representation in media, but it is that now. But you know, I get what you're saying. Like, they didn't have like social media, a huge social media presence back then.
Yeah, it's a lack of representation. But look, we don't need them for representation now. You know what I'm saying? You can say whatever you want to say on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook.
What'd you just say?
I say you don't. We don't need you don't need to be in their spaces to start your own or tell your own story. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be. Back then you had to be hired by ESPN. Excuse me. You had to be hired by ESPN or Boxing Scene or some shit like that. Now you don't need that. You can tell your own story. You can get a good following on social media, on YouTube, and tell your own story. We don't need these motherfuckers to tell our story.
I honestly believe that, and I think I was trying to tell Bobby whatever, but I'm like, dude, I feel like honestly I should be boxing Twitter personality of the year, because little old me from Minnesota, digital illustrator, was able to have the boxing world going crazy.
True.
Literally, when we had $1 million companies telling the world one thing and telling us this is gonna happen, should happen, or whatever. And then you have somebody like me doing my own independent research and countering that every chance that I got. I countered it so bad, so perfectly, that I had people in the mainstream media tweeting about me.
Yeah.
Saying things like, if Artman doesn't show up to the Wilder versus Fury 3 fight, then nothing on this world is sacred, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, for me to be doing my own thing, to get y'all, the big wigs, talking about me, and several big wigs DMing me after the fight, should let you know that, man, this platform that we got is growing, man, and we have a voice.
Yeah. See, but this is the thing, though. And I wish a lot of us would realize it, which I really started realizing it now. That's why I don't even engage. You got to understand them. They really need our engagement in order. They really need our engagement in order for them to get engagement. You know what I'm saying? No matter what we talking about, motherfuckers want to chime in on it, or they want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We don't never go over to them and start shit. They always come to us to start shit.
They always come to us. Like, I know you see it, Lazy, when you go down your timeline and you see screenshots of my post, and random motherfuckers just having full debates about me, and I'm not even in this shit.
Yeah. See, I got it to the point, like, he who grease fire, he know. But like, you know, I'm a little older than y'all, so I've gotten to a different point though, where I don't even give these niggas the pleasure no more, because I know when I respond to them, that's just gonna get their engagement up. I'm not giving them the pleasure no more getting engagement off of me. I see it. I say something in the DM group I'm in, but I don't bring it to the timeline because I don't want you to get no clout off me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You'll never get that.
One thing I asked them trolls to do whenever they sharing shit about me, I said just drop the link to my website at least. So one of the haters can see the great artwork and buy some, which they do.
But
Uh,
but
Go
but but
ahead.
but
But
you see,
shout out to my brother Southern T for joining the chat though.
you see, if they ain't whatever they talking about, nobody pays them no attention. They don't pay them no attention until they talking about us.
Yeah, because they can sit there and talk about how Usyk and George Kambosos is the best fighters to ever walk the face of earth
And nobody
all day
cares.
long, and nobody will give a fuck.
Nobody give a fuck. You see?
Really?
That's why we trying to get motherfuckers to understand how much power that we actually got on this social media shit, that we basically run the conversation every single day. We running the conversation of what's being talked about every single day.
Literally, they had a video, I mean, a meme of a man sleeping in bed with his wife, and he wasn't going to sleep, and his wife was like, what's on your mind? What's going on? And the man in the meme that says, I wonder what Art Man's about to do. What is Art Man gonna do?
Yeah.
And that shit did like 400 likes, 100, 200 retweets. I'm like, dude, even if you don't know who I am, it makes people want to know who the fuck I am, because it's like, who is this guy that people talking about?
Exactly.
But I love it. I love it. Y'all keep on sharing us, sharing, because y'all making our names bigger, regardless.
Exactly.
And I know, lazy, you don't have enough time. You are getting a little older, so you saying fuck that shit. But me, I don't go back and forth, but I do like when they spread my name, because it's publicity that's getting more eyes on my
No matter how
merch,
they spread them,
my
no matter how
YouTube.
they spread that
It's
motherfucker.
stuff like that that's gonna put more revenue in my pocket. Not saying that I'm gonna go out there to purposely get them to, embarrass myself doing clown shit to get them to watch me. Nah. But I'm saying I like the fact that they keep on spreading me, because at the end of the day, I'm a businessman and I have a business, and I like when they share what I have
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, I
Because
understand it.
even
I
though,
understand it.
yeah, for sure. Because it's like, even if the
I'm not
haters,
saying, look,
you
I
hate
used to
what
be
I
on that
do, you
motherfucker.
hate
Look, I
everything
used
I
to be on that
do,
motherfucker too,
you
going
may
back and
not
forth
tolerate.
all day with him. That's just something that I'm not doing now. But shit, I understand completely what y'all be doing. Trust me, I understand. I just don't have the patience for the shit now no more. You know?
I feel it, but I just don't like when they try to take it too. One thing that'll get you blocked, I rarely block people, but what get you blocked from me is when you go off the wall on some racist shit, or you
Yep.
say something very funny, acting guyish. If you get that acronym,
Yep. Yep.
said we set the standard for what's dope. Straight up, literally, I got UK dudes calling each other British tea fans. Literally, with the same emojis and all.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. Whatever our slang is, the motherfuckers, it be tripping me out, because especially when they get into like I had this motherfucking one of them foreigners try to get into a hip hop debate with me. Motherfucker, you don't even know, nigga. You trying to debate me on my culture or what I lived or what I grew up on. I'm not talking to you about this shit. You don't even deserve my conversation on some shit like
And
that.
that's why they be mad. They be mad as hell. And I be like, bro, cause I just be either. I don't go whenever they talk about race or whatever. I don't even go back and forth with them. I just drop my statement and move the hell on.
Yeah, me too.
Like, dude, like,
I'm
and
not
then I be
I'm not about to
clowning these
debate.
dudes. I
I'm
be
not
like,
about to
dude, I'm
debate.
not gonna let
Yeah.
nobody from the United Kingdom try to tell me what the fuck I should do with my black life. The fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, what?
But you got to
Come on,
understand,
man. And
they
I be
used to a
clowning. I be
certain
like,
they used to a certain type. We talk about this shit all the time. They used to a certain type of black person that's uh
Acceptable,
more
nigga.
docile. You know what I'm saying? More docile.
yeah, more docile.
You know.
But to be honest, they like us though. Even though they want us to be more docile, they like it, because it's like they wish they could be on the edge like that, where the
Yeah.
odds are against you, but you still standing strong, fighting against it. Cause that's, nigga, that's shit that you admire. You
Bro,
can write those life
you
stories
know
and
what the
living a
biggest
fucking
TV show in the
docile
U
ass life.
you know what the biggest TV show in the UK is? The Wire.
What?
The Wire.
Really? I was wondering why robbing them,
They always talk.
making
That's
a
one of the
picture as
biggest TV
dudes from
shows.
The
I'm
Wire
telling
and
you.
shit. I'm like, what?
I'm telling you, they are obsessed, and this is the first time they get to interact with some shit that they always read about or seen on TV.
I'm
You
sure
know what
you
I'm saying?
Mm,
That's why you
you're
notice
right.
most of them come from the UK. Even with me, even I know you uh like rile them up more with the British tea shit and whatever. But even with me, I don't even really. I only deal with with a couple of them, and I still get them random ones and trying to get me to engage with them on some shit, which I just basically could ignore them because I'm not going back and forth with no motherfucking foreigner that about my humanity. I'm not about to discuss no shit I live with some shit that you read or watched on the TV. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like, and dudes try to clown me. They try to clown me. I'm like, dude, I literally live like what 12 minutes away from George Floyd's murder. That
Yeah.
I stay strapped every day, nigga. Shit's crazy out here where I live. Gotta worry about white supremacy, killing cops, and I gotta worry about motherfuckers who look like me.
He talking about
You know what I'm saying? Shit,
that
shit's
dude, the only saying. I don't think he Mexican though. I think he might be Dominican or I don't know. He's a Hispanic. I don't think he's Mexican.
whoever the guy was, but he retweeted me and tried to clown me and says, "Oh, this guy thinks he's suppressed." I'm like, dude, this is not even a joking matter. Like, I don't even be joking when it comes to this shit. But hey, you can think what you want. All I know is you wouldn't last a day in my Jordans. That's what I told him. I said you wouldn't last a day in my Jordans,
But
man.
that dude, man, he obsessed with black people. I mean, he goddamn obsessed with black people. He stalked black people. You know, he think he be in the middle of our. I mean, this dude is just obsessed with black people. I don't even know why you talking about. You ain't black, so why is you even talking about divestors and diaspora wars and shit like that, nigga? That's none of your business. I don't understand that shit. I'm not interested in nothing but black.
Which dude was that y'all talking about? Y'all talking about Steve Kim?
No, that's this dude. His name is the Only Cinch.
Oh,
I mean, he stalks black people. He stalks black people. When I mean stalk. He's obsessed with us.
man, they like, bro. But to be honest, they like us though. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like, how can these guys go through all this oppression and the world be against them? And it's cool to hate on them, but somehow they overcome that stuff
Yeah,
and become great.
they wonder why we ain't
It's
kill ourselves and
fascinating
our
to them.
family.
It's like, how?
You know?
I would just use this as a small example. Let's say you had like a fucking let's say you had like a box and a maze, and you put a mouse in it, and you like, man, there's no way this mouse can get out this fucking maze, and somehow the mouse comes up with creative ways to get out of it. Wouldn't you be fascinated? Like, oh my lord, how the hell is this mouse able to do this? After I'd have designed all these traps to keep them held back.
Yep. And then to say, well,
And that's how I feel like how they admire black folks, because they're like, how the hell are we able to overcome?
and then they say some
Even though
shit. Then they
we've
say
been
some
put
shit
in this
like, I don't see no traps.
I don't see any traps. What traps? You see that white mouse? She was able to get out that maze just like that.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the maze is a straight line ahead.
Yep. Motherfuckers is a trip, man. I don't even.
Said we too strong, man. And then it gets into the mode where we're proud of ourselves, make them feel insecure.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, why you getting mad that I'm supporting my own? Why you getting mad that I say that this guy is strong? They get offended when I say, yeah, Terrence Crawford is strong. He never need a performance enhancing drug ever. They get mad at me when I say shit like that. Why you getting mad? Shouldn't that be the cool thing in boxing?
But they know the motherfucking truth, man. And a lot of them motherfuckers really that's why when they get them a little
Said wet market bat soup coronavirus Kim is the worst of them all.
But hey, y'all notice though, really, if you pay attention, you notice their influence is really, they ain't got the same influence they used to have. Hey, y'all notice that?
It's dwindling. It's dwindling.
Yep.
Okay.
Like the Steve Kims, the Monteros, even the Dan Raphael. He ain't on ESPN no more, so his influence really went down. A lot of them motherfuckers that had that big influence before, like Twitter really blew up. Cause I ain't gonna lie, before I got on Twitter, I used to really listen to them motherfuckers and think they knew what they was talking about. Steve Kim, Montero, Dougie Fisher, Dan Wright. I used to think they really knew what they was talking about. Then I got on Twitter and see how they really are. And I was like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers.
And for me, that was 2 years ago. That was just 2 years ago for me. I was listening to them folks. That was just 2 years ago for me. Them folks don't know what the fuck they be talking about.
They want to hear.
It's really
they
what
want to hear. Fucking.
I kind of more than you,
chicken talk. We'd rather listen to chicken talk over fucking with Steve Kim and Dan Raphael got to say.
You can call it what you want. I only listen to black media. Only.
Yeah. Only. Because this is the thing, nigga. These motherfuckers is really trying to tell us. Look at Steve Kim. Look at Dan Raphael. Look at Kevin Ione. Look at these niggas. Do them niggas? Is there anything about them niggas that they could tell you what's hot in these streets? Nothing.
What the fuck they know about Asian brothers?
Nothing. That's why they always had to make up shit about him, because they don't understand, and they can never understand why he's so popular. They don't understand why Wilder's so popular. They don't understand why Spencer's so popular. They don't get it, and they'll never get it. That's why, that's why they got to make up shit.
These boxing corporations, they be sitting back wondering, like, how the hell is Tank so popular?
Yeah, they don't understand
belts.
Yeah, he doesn't have any belts.
They don't understand it, and I'm like, dude, there's some things that money can't buy.
Y'all know why though? Because if they tell you what it really is, that black people actually do got a little money, black people actually do support boxing, they'll have to go back on their own bullshit where they've been saying that, black people don't sell and black people don't buy fights. They can't tell you the reason. They know why they popular, because they got support from their people, but they're not gonna tell you
that. Yeah, they're gonna make up.
They're not gonna. They don't even understand. They don't even really understand. People were buying the Back in Blood shirts for me, right? A lot of them. And when they bought them, it wasn't just a shirt. They bought it because they're like, damn, this is part of the culture. It meant something. Like, you got Artman driving the shit on Twitter, and then you got Wilder and Malik Scott in the gym going hard.
And then you had
it's culturally, it's big when it comes to culture, and they don't understand that.
Like, being that, he was coming up at that time too. He had the song and shit, so it was hot. It all just fell together. It just all fell together. The song, the whole theme of the fight, the Wilder,
and the shirt, all that. And I'm like, dude, I remember I was on my live show, and I was like, they not buying shirts from Kevin Ione and Steve Kim. And they've been in the game longer than me.
Can y'all hear me? Did I freeze? Can y'all hear me?
They don't know what it is.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Oh, okay. No,
they don't know what it is, man. Like, you go to Tank fight and you see nothing but black people in the crowd. Like, wow, I thought you guys said that black people don't buy boxing.
No. Another thing they did for years was what they love to try to do is tell you this is what this fighter needs to do to sell, or this is what this fighter needs to do to sell. But them fighters ain't taking what they suggest don't work, but they can't admit it don't work. So they got to find something else to discredit. Well, he doesn't have a belt, but he hasn't fought this competition. This motherfucker, what you don't realize, these niggas that's paying this money to actually support these fights, they don't give a fuck what these other fighters out here doing, these other lightweights out here doing. Only one they know is Tank and whatever nigga Tank fighting again. And that pisses them off, because Tank ain't doing it their way, but he's successful.
My bad for cutting you off, but this is how it goes when it comes to me. Tank fights, casuals hit me up because they know I know boxing. Hey, Art, man, who Tank fighting? Is he good? Yeah, all right. Oh, okay, great. I'm watching it. I'm buying it. That's it.
Yep.
They don't care if it's for the green belt, the yellow belt, the purple belt, none of the belts. They don't care. Bro, the casuals it's what's crazy is
belts is for us boxing fans.
Hardcore motherfuckers don't buy the sport. Casuals do.
Yeah. If you basing your career trying to please casuals, you're gonna end up like, if you basing your career trying to please hardcores, you're gonna end up like like Tevin Farmer, or somebody who you fought a lot, you fought 4 times a year, you did out here, you did all the right things, but now nobody even gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even
Exactly.
get he couldn't even get his rematch that he had signed for with JoJo Diaz, and it was nobody in his corner from the media taking up his case saying, "Hey, this is wrong. He needs to get his rematch."
Right. Same
You know what I'm saying?
situation, exact same situation.
Exact
Wilder
same
did
situation as
exact same
Wilder.
situation. All right, but Tevin Farmer just didn't, push. He didn't.
He didn't
Same,
have it. No, his team. He didn't have his team right. His team didn't give
yeah,
a fuck. That's what it was.
same
His
situation,
team
bro.
didn't give a fuck.
Exact same situation.
It's that HBO went out of business because they try to act like black fans weren't important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you another thing people don't talk about. You'll never hear why they talking about what did Javante sell this pay-per-view or did Devontae sell that pay-per-view or this and that. If you notice, Top Rank they don't have no pay-per-view star since they left HBO. So that lets you know right there, HBO was the one pushing them pay-per-views. Excuse me. The only one that can sell tickets and sell a decent amount of pay-per-views is they black fighter that they shitted on. It's Crawford.
Yep. Yeah.
Like you said the other day about Tyson Fury and Dillian White. The reason nobody's talking about it because nobody gives a fuck about Tyson Fury or Dillian White unless they attach to AJ or Wilder.
Bingo.
You know,
Hey,
nobody
can
I
y'all
gives.
hear
said
me?
it. Ruiz versus Wilder can happen on the same night as as a White versus Fury, and I guarantee you that venue to see Ruiz versus Wilder will be sold out, and the
Yeah.
pay-per-view will be
I
fucking
gotta start
dope.
over, man. This motherfucking phone fucking up.
And let me tell y'all something about Tank, bro. Tank. People want to suppress Tank and shit, bro. But Tank, real like you said, Tank bring them casuals out, bro. Be real with you. Every time Tank do it,
The casuals with money.
bro. Every time Tank do a fight, bro, and I do that just on my little ass show, just on my side, bro. That whole do fucking amazing art. You know what I mean? I didn't got hella,
Yeah,
I didn't got hella subscribers and views off just a Tank fight, bro. You know what I mean? So I know that man do numbers, bro. I know you're not gonna tell me he don't, cause he do numbers. Just I see him do numbers in my little circle. You know what I mean? So you ain't finna
Yeah.
tell me, nigga, when Tank, nigga, I threw a fight party for Tank, bro. That whole hit 77,000. The other fight party I threw for Tank, nigga, I gained like 200 subscribers. This one, I gained like 400 subs. You know what I mean, though? But dude ass he moves the needle. He moves the fucking needle. For real. Like for real.
nah, nah,
All right.
real
There you
shit.
go.
Look, let me tell you about Tank. Nigga, one day I was at my dad's barbershop. I'm wearing a hoodie I made of Tank. Oh yeah. Somebody said, "Oh, that's Javante. Ooh, let me get that hoodie. Oh, matter of fact, let me get one for my kids too." Just like that. Just wearing the nigga shirt. Literally, like. And then people talk all this Lomachenko shit. To this day, there's nobody else in my inbox saying, "Hey, man, I'm willing to pay right now to get an exclusive painting of Lomachenko." Never. All them hardcore fans, never. None of them. But I tell you what, damn, my DMA, man. Do you know how many times I turned down people trying to get a Errol Spence versus Crawford painting for me because I said I don't want to do it to the fight sign. But several people hit my DMs for that fight.
Hey,
But they
Art.
ain't asking for no Lomachenko.
Hey, Art. Can
But
you hear
go
me?
ahead. Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Hey, can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm
okay.
at work right now. What's good? What's good, T? What's
What's up with
going
y'all?
on, Julius? What's
Shit,
up, Rod?
we just, it's the morning time. We
Yeah,
just
man.
chilling, man. Morning after Christmas.
Yeah,
But what's
I've been
going on,
What's
working.
up,
Julius? I
I've been
see you
man?
working
down
What's
hard.
up,
there.
Southern T? What's going
What's
on,
good,
man?
buddy?
Ain't too
Shit, we
much,
good.
man.
We just chopping it up, man.
I know,
I was
man.
just on Twitter
It ain't.
this morning getting attacked for supporting my own.
I saw
Oh
that. I
yeah,
jumped
yeah,
up
yeah.
there
I
on
saw
you,
that.
man, about the dude, you know, the Dominican thing and this and that. Hey, look, throughout not just boxing, man, but just life in general, man. Whenever blacks want to stand together and support one another, it's looked at as a terrible thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, could you imagine a black fighter if Earl Spence won and he say, "Yeah, I wanna dedicate this fight to the black community and all that we went through." You get what I'm saying? But
Oh
we
yeah.
hear Mexicans do it all the time. Every fight. You know
All
what
the
I'm
time.
saying? Uh, they come out wearing their colors, and that's why, man, I don't I don't want to ever come down on my black people, but at the same time, man, we got to stop with the coming out with the Mexican flag and coming out with Puerto Rican colors and things of that nature. Look, man, let's support our own, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's support our own, because how many times if black is wearing a dashiki or something, somebody come out and laugh at it or whatever. Let's support our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out there in our own gear. We're the culture
Yeah, I
anyway.
want to see. I
Everybody
want to
want to
see a
be us.
fighter. I want to see a
Facts.
fighter come out dressed as like the fucking Black Panthers.
Yeah. Well, my man did one time. Big Baby Miller. Baby Miller came out the Black Panther
Really?
on HBO one time. Matter of fact, when the movie
Big
had
Baby
just
came
came
out
out.
like
And they.
Big Baby came out like a
I
pimp.
even though I like Big Baby's attire, but I feel like the fans are like, see, blacks need to get like that. You guys are pimps and hoes.
Right,
That's
Yeah.
how you should dress, right? Instead of Mexican
right,
flags, pimps and hoes.
right. That's it. That's it.
Nah, real shit. But I like the way Gary Russell come out though. Gary Russell be
Pimping
hitting
been
that
around.
heat in his
Pimping
bag,
been
bro.
around since the beginning of time. Art,
Yeah,
believe that. Art, believe it.
You said what?
Pimping been around since the beginning of time.
Oh yeah, I know.
but yeah, you're
Ah
right
shit. But it
though,
said,
Gary.
according to Box, he said, "Stop it. Black fans hate Terrence Crawford. So how can you say
No, they don't.
people
And
have an
don't let
issue with
nobody
blacks supporting
perpetuate that.
black?
Don't let nobody
What?
perpetuate that either. We do not hate Terrence Crawford. We
And,
do
and
not hate Terrence Crawford.
Art, man,
Don't let
I'm gonna
We
nobody
tell
don't
you
hate
something,
perpetuate
Terrence
that.
Art, man.
Crawford at all.
That's why when I go on Southern T show, man, I make sure to talk about the Terrence Crawford love. Really, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence got the same fan base. But what has happened is
Literally.
Fact.
they have turned a portion of the black fans against Errol Spence. And you know what I'm saying? As a way of discrediting Bud and Earl, to be honest with you, because they know that
Yep.
this is going to be a big mega fight whenever it happens. People don't
Julius.
want to see two black athletes get in that ring in boxing and really sell pay-per-views and sell, you know what I'm saying, and sell out.
Hey,
That's what it's
Julius.
about.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I'm not,
What's up, fellas? Happy
I'm
holidays, fellas.
Hey,
Yeah, so
so,
what's
check.
man,
good,
All
Check?
right, Jim.
Uh,
Well, let me
morning,
just say
brother.
this real quick, fellas. Let me just say this real quick. Me personally, I understand. I like Bud and everything. I just don't like the way his team moves. His team is always disrespecting EJ, and it's always personal. So I can't rock with that. I'll still want to see him succeed, but that does has a part to play in my personal beef with Bud. Is that it's never about boxing. It's always like, oh, they'll talk about the fight. They'll talk about EJ as a boxer. Then, Bernie or somebody, Bomac will say, oh, he living check to check. Oh, he's a drunk. Oh, he's this and he's that. It's like, you don't need to do that to one
Yeah,
another, man. You already given them an excuse to divide us as fighters, and it just makes it even more like you don't even respect your brother. So, and it's to me, it's a jealousy thing. But that's just one of the reasons why I know some people can't rock with Bud. I can't speak for everybody, but
What's good,
it's
TJ?
just
yeah, you know what, Alan, the way I look at it is those two cans going back and forth. I think I mentioned this a few days ago. For some reason, I think they are
yeah,
planning all this. To me, it does not seem organic for two men, especially since Earl said from the beginning he was going to get all the PBC belts and then fight Crawford for undisputed. So a lot of this discourse, it seems like it's something that they probably say we're going to do this and execute this plan to build up the fight. So when it finally happens, everybody's going to gravitate towards it. Now, what gets me is, I don't like it's again when you say that the two fan bases they're splitting and tearing each other apart. I just think that's disgusting because none of it is validated. A lot of people now are saying that okay, that they're trying to marinate the fight. Well, first of all, Spencer's been out of commission basically for 2 years since he had his accident. Then he had the Garcia fight, and then you know what I mean. He had the eye accident. So for 2 years, he's been kind of shelled. So it's not doing nothing to marinate anything. He had a plan. He's sticking to it. Now, on Bud's case, Bud has only had 6 fights at 147. So I don't understand what all this marinating part is all about. People want them to fight now, but the best thing to do is, again, is to make it the biggest fight in the world is by having it for undisputed. And Earl is standing on his path. You know what I mean? And so when we get the fight, people gonna, they're gonna appreciate it. But you know what's so crazy? People talk about, oh, it's only gonna do 300,000. It's only gonna do 400,000. I was like, well, if everybody want to watch it, why are you downplaying it? If you're
Exactly.
if you're telling me you're gonna watch it, but you say, oh, it ain't gonna do nothing, it's gonna be about 300 or 400. So how can everybody in the world want this fight, be upset because it's not happening, but then you purposely downplay it? Doesn't make any sense.
Checkmate. I agree with you 100%, man. And that's why I have been on a crusade the last couple of days of blocking these trolls and muting their conversations and stuff like that, because man, we got a lot of coons and people out here that's intentionally, I don't know if they're getting paid or what, they're intentionally trying to sabotage the whole entire black boxing community. I'm just gonna call it like I see it, man.
It's true.
And
You're right.
we get on these shows. I be having it hurts my heart, man, for us to get on these shows and black folks screaming and yelling at other black folks and name calling over 2 black fighters fighting. I don't get it, man. And I'm never gonna fall in that trap of downing my people to uplift up folks. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it looks like, because it really has nothing to do with boxing. And if you think about it, I heard my man say that it was Bud team. No, it's actually just Bomac. And Bomac has a few fighters, and he want all his fighters to fight on Top Rank platform and this platform. But sometimes, man, when you have to, sometimes when white people in life want you to be able to do something, they're going to tell you, hey, you're going to have to do something else in order to have this platform. So they keep telling him, hey, sabotage that fight. You know what I'm saying? Downplay Errol Spence every chance you get. And we just got a bunch of coons, man, that fall into that trap. And that's what they do. And I just been on, you know what I'm saying? Like, people send me stuff that Rick Glazer and people like that. These are paid informants, man, paid people to do stuff like that. That's why I don't follow those people, man.
A lot of them are all you need is a few agitators who are paid to keep stoking the fires, and they'll have people to follow them who, people who just follow just because they want to be along or something. And the thing about
And
look at this, Jules, from this perspective as well. When you look at Bomac's relationship with Top Rank, I believe that is the reason why that's the reason why Bud stayed there, because Bomac was kind of looking out for himself. Why? Because he had the TV announcing job, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things that benefited him. And by doing so, convincing his fighter who he trains and manages, Bud, say, hey, take this. $4 million is underpaid for what Bud brings to the table and the quality of his fighting. So he's getting paid the same thing Lomachenko basically is getting paid. You know what I mean? But we know Lomachenko and Fury and all of them was getting the top billing. You know what I'm saying? So all of that was, to me, I believe, self-serving reasons why Bud kind of stayed loyal, because again, Bomac said, hey, this is working out.
Get that according to boxing nigga off the screen, bro.
Yeah, he's a hater.
He ain't here doing the exact shit that we talking about. You know what I mean? You see, we talking about Earl Spence. We talking about Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. He comes to throwing out little shit, and then we say something about black on black. He say that's for none in the LDBC. For none, you know what I mean? For none in the LDBC no more, bro. You just named the black one. He in here doing the same shit that we talking about. That according to boxing niggas. You know what I mean?
So now that Bud is no longer with Top Rank, guess what? All of a sudden, just let me do this little 10 seconds dismount, Alan. So now that Bud is no longer with Top Rank, this is when the divide started. Now this is crazy. There's no reason for that divide, but they're amping up the fire. Go ahead, Al.
You notice that every time you see all these quote unquote Bud fans on Twitter and on the internet, they're not black. And if they're black, they're coons. They got that weird mindset where they do the same thing that Bomac and Bernie be doing. They'll disrespect EJ and do all this stuff. Like y'all know some of them, and it's like that's why that's the type of fan base you want to attract. Why is that the type of people that you're attracting to your fan base? You know. And another point is I don't think a lot of these dudes are Bud fans. They just don't like EJ. They don't like Al Heyman. You know, they
Facts.
don't want to see Al Heyman on
Exactly.
top. Because
Yep.
if y'all think about it, if the winner of that fight, I'll always say it, will be the fighter of our generation. So if it's Earl Spence, by extension, that's Al Heyman, and that's not what they want to see. Like you said, a lot of these dudes are paid informants. The Rick Glaciers, the Steve Kins, you know, the Montero,
Right.
what that weird ass nigga's name is.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of weirdos, man, and I feel like that's just one of the main reasons why a lot of these PBC fighters are getting. Well, that is the reason they're getting hated, is because of them being associated with Al Heyman, regardless of
Exactly.
you
You're
know
right.
where they stand. You know, and it's
Hmm.
pathetic. You know, like
Yep.
have y'all noticed that even in life, like Julius was saying at the beginning, a lot of times when a black man and a black woman, or just black people, period, we're together, we're sticking together, we support one another, we uplift one another. If we don't uplift everybody, then it's a problem. But nobody's uplifting us. I
Right.
have a us versus them mentality. And what I mean by that is that if you're black and you support me, I will support you, and I will support y'all rather than supporting somebody else that I know doesn't like me. I know doesn't fuck with me. You know,
Exactly.
and a lot of people they don't have that mindset. They want to be people pleasers. You know, they want to be
Yep.
accepted by all these other races, and it's like, no, that's not how we should move. That's not how I move. You know, so I support
Yep.
our fighters. I support our people, and that's it. If you don't like it, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I don't have to explain myself to nobody. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what I can and can't do. You know, I'm a man and I stand on mine. A lot of these dudes, when you think about it, they ain't have fathers in their lives. They ain't have people that show them what a man is and how a man moves. They hate themselves. When they look in the mirror, they get in the mirror and they hate what they see. These aren't people to be respected. And if they want to come out here and they want to debate, they want to talk, let's talk. You niggas can't fuck with me.
Right.
Y'all can't hang with me. But if y'all want to go there, we can go there. And a lot of times they don't. But I'm gonna let somebody else cook it, then I'm gonna get back to it.
And you said it all, bro. I mean, you said it, and it's the truth, man. That's why I said, man, I stick to what I say. When we get on these shows, man, we all black. Why don't we just go? We can talk and coexist, but like I say, these guys got these other agendas. I mean, if you
Yeah.
just look across, YouTube and the internet, the people that are popular are black that go against the grain with black people. You get what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
they talk about us in a negative fashion, they get very popular very fast. And and that's just what it is. And people will do anything for a buck. And so that's why I'm telling you, man, I don't follow, a lot of different people on Twitter and the internet and whatever, because man, like I said, they're just paid informants to bring about, confusion. Like, for example, nothing is going on, and then all of a sudden you see a person throw a stat up there. Oh, well, top ranked fighters are 16-3 against Al Heyman fighters. And listen, and here's the crazy part. No one ever says, listen, man, how do you even know? Because one thing I do know about Al Heyman is that Al Heyman sometimes have fighters that he represents that be fighting for Eddie Hearn or fighting for Top Rank. I mean, and he just
Yeah,
stand in the
right. Yeah.
background and get a check.
Al Heyman is not that's the thing, dude. You just said something. Al Heyman is not even a promoter. He's
He's
an
not even a
advisor.
promoter.
He don't even have fucking fighters. What are you talking about?
Exactly. But it's just, it's the hate Al Heyman that
Man,
carries the day in all of this, because
He's a
a guy
manager,
like Eddie Hearn,
not a fucking promoter. He a manager. He managed them as people.
let me chime in on that. Let me chime in on that. Look, I hate when they call us PBC fanboys. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I have no allegiance to any promotional company. What are you talking about? These guys don't pay me.
Y'all know what that
And I'm
is, right?
like, I get it. I get it. Because you see a lot of black fighters on PBC, so you like to just say, oh, we're fanatics of PBC because there's a lot of black people. But little do you know, there's more Latinos on PBC than there are blacks.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is.
That's where the black and brown people at, PBC. No cap. Black and the brown people. And Caleb Plant.
But y'all know what that is. That's a code word. You know, that's a code word.
Bingo.
You don't
With
want to get
the ER.
smacked in your mouth for calling somebody yeah, facts, T. You don't want to get punched in your fucking mouth. So that's what you say.
To avoid saying ER, to avoid saying ER, you just say PBC or LDBC. That's why I don't like that terminology.
Right. Right. Because
You
basically
see
you
Rick
saying Nick.
Glacier. Rick Glacier felt like he had a victory because he said Fury won and Art Man gets to shut up forever. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Over a boxing match. And let me say this too, Art Man. And this is, you know, and I know that, you know, Southern T, I'm gonna say this as well, man. Just because you have a black wife or a black boyfriend does not mean that you are for black people. Let me get that out there. Just because you have a black friend named Joseph that come to your house and y'all watch the game together does not mean that you can speak for black people or that you are for black issues. You get what I'm saying? I don't care how many braids you put in your hair. I don't care how many black boyfriends or girlfriends or wives or husbands you have. Just because you sleep with someone black does not make you for the black culture or anything. And like I said, man, these guys need to stop falling for these stupid traps.
Man, with Rick Glacier, he's just hilarious, dude. Like that anybody take his word as something serious. I don't even argue with him. I just laugh at the stuff that he say. But that shit's just crazy, dude. Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. I feel like the media, they're gonna try to do this like how they did Tupac versus Biggie, which is stir up all the people, put a lot of confusion in the air to have black people get physically violent with each other based off of just confusion and shit like that.
Yep. And back to Julius'
because they
point.
seen how look how strong we were during the Wilder versus Fury 3 build up. That was like, man, it was getting to a point where it's like you had black folks in the gym working hard, training like as if they were about to fight Fury 2. When you have that type of an influence like that, man, that shit, their insecurity levels, it raises big time. Because it's like, damn,
that's why they had them long counts in them fights.
Yeah, and that's
we ain't
why
talk
they
too
had
much
the
about that.
The weigh-in was blocked off from the public because they knew we was there thick as hell, man.
Right. I mean, whenever we stand up, man, we get stuff done. Just like what happened in Minnesota, what happened all across the place, man. You know what I'm saying? When we come together as a people, we can get something accomplished, man. We can get something done. And that's why Southern
Yep,
T, I know
I'm
up
here in Minnesota too, man.
Yeah,
So I seen it. We was on a different type of time, boy. I tell you. And even just now with the Potter case, people we was already hearing rumblings of us getting together. The verdict didn't go the way we wanted it to go.
Right.
And you see, it's just like, yeah. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's get up to 1,000 subscribers. I'm almost there, y'all. Look, hold on. Let's see where we at. Y'all hit the like button as well. I'm at 955 subscribers. Shout out to those who just subscribed. We're almost there. 45 more subscribers and we're there. Said Rick has never been a credible voice in boxing. Oh, shout out to my
you
good
gotta
teacher
reach
who just
G5
subscribed to the channel.
You got to rent G5
You
up.
said
What's
what?
good, G5? What's good,
You
big
got to
bro? What's
rent
good, P?
G5
Big
up.
big
What's going
dog.
on, G5?
Yeah, you got to get brother a rent.
Said 955. Hell yeah. But yeah, we always working, man, and you know, and it's like this. I hate to even have to put a disclaimer out there. We're not anti-white boxers,
At all.
anti-Latino, anti-Asian at all. We are just pro our fighters, and there's nothing wrong with that because
And to
you
be,
guys are pro your fighters.
my bad, I don't mean cut. And to be real, if it was more balanced throughout the world, we wouldn't even be so much pro our fighter because we'd be able to call everything unbiasedly like everybody else, but y'all don't. So we pro our fighter. You get what I'm saying? In the perfect world, we wouldn't even have to do this. We shouldn't have to do this. You
We
know what I
wouldn't
mean?
even have to look. I literally, and people always talk about race not involved in all this shit. Nigga, I literally had to uh, screenshot 2 articles of Michael Coppinger writing about Devin Haney and Javante Davis's performance. How he said the performances were basically terrible, and Devin Haney was struggling to survive in that fight against Diaz. And then he turns around and says Lomachenko put on a great performance and deserves a George Kambosos fight.
Oh,
I'm like, dude, y'all can't see the play. It's right in front of your eyes.
that's why when I seen the Mike Coppinger and Bob Arum little thing, I knew it was fake, man. Because you know what I'm saying? They have to keep that approach like, oh, let's act like we don't get along. You know what I'm saying? Because you know you actually are paid. And look, this ain't nothing new, man. People that's been in the boxing for a long time know that Top Rank and people like that have paid off reporters and you know, before the internet, you know, ESPN was the big thing. So they would pay off the ESPN boxing writers to write certain, you know, articles for, you know, for
Yeah,
the upliftment of their
bro,
company, man.
Eddie Hearn, Blabbermouth, told on Dan Rafael and got him fired from ESPN because he told the public that, yeah, I paid for that nigga hotel, bought him some dinner
Right,
to cover this fight.
right.
And then you seen it. It was 2 fights on that week. It was 2 fights. One was on the zone and one on Showtime, I believe.
He went
And
to the zone
of course,
overseas.
yeah, yeah, they hired Dan Rafael to come over there. He paid for his lunch and all that to write a pro DAZN article and then write a basically anti-Showtime boxing article.
Right.
And he got fired from that shit from ESPN because it's like, damn, nigga, you out here publicly getting flued out and shit
Hmm.
and bribed, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And it's like, yeah, man, and it lets you know that don't get it twisted, man. These words are very powerful in boxing, bro.
Fact.
Representation is very powerful in boxing as well. Media, all that, dude, because media is very powerful. People feel like, oh, just because these guys are sitting behind the desk and typing up and posting it, it don't mean nothing. No, it means something
Fact.
because it could sway the public's opinion.
Yep.
Fact.
Yep.
Because
It's
yeah,
designed.
it's
It's
something. Yeah.
designed to sway. It's designed to sway your opinion. And there's any media person. You know, you when you
Yep.
put whether you feel it's fair or you know whatever you put it out for, it's designed to sway your opinion one way to get people to believe what you think. Now the thing is, shit, you got to do right and push the right shit, push what's really going on, and not push no bullshit. A lot of people pushing bullshit out here.
Look, and I know it's powerful too because I had people who hate my guts and hate my pick, but said things based off of my analysts and me just doing my research. They said, man, I'm rolling with the guy Art Man picking.
Bingo.
I'm over here able to change their opinion.
Facts.
And I know the media is capable of doing that too as well on a higher scale because they have the option of spamming their articles down your fucking your timeline. Or when you go on ESPN, the first article you're gonna see is Mike Coppinger bullshit.
Yep.
But Michael Monterio's biases. I didn't even know he was a boxing writer or anything. I thought he was just a troll on boxing because he ended up retweeting something that I posted and he sounded just like the usual trolls.
He's a bitch. That dude's a bitch. Like these dudes are straight suckers, bro.
Who you say?
They're fucking bitches. Like
Michael
in real
Jordan.
life.
Who you
Y'all
say?
know
All
who
right.
that is?
I said Montero Boxer, whatever his name is.
Ah,
I
yeah,
didn't know
bro.
he was
I did a
a
little
media
piece
guy.
on him like some months ago. Clarissa Shields junk. He had said he wasn't watching Clarissa Shields fight. The nigga said the nigga was at home and didn't watch it. He said, I'm at home. Ain't nothing else better to do. Might as well watch some movies with the wife. And then, but he watched the Blonde Bomber fight. So I did a little piece on him. He a Hall of Fame voter. I said, how you go vote on her for being a Hall of Fame? She clearly a candidate. How you go vote on her being for Hall of Fame if you not watching her fights, but you watching Blonde Bomber fights, and she not high on the Hall of Fame list as she is. And they took his Hall of Fame voting rights too. I don't know if I had nothing to do with it though, but I know shortly after, maybe less than a month time frame, his voting right was gone. And
The-
Hey,
These dudes be so fucking biased, and it shows. And it be like, you remember my video that went viral on Twitter?
I
Damn
don't fuck
near.
with Mike.
I
I
was
don't fuck with
like,
Montero.
these media dudes are
Yeah,
pussy.
Mikey's a bitch.
You remember that? T?
Oh
Say it
yeah.
again.
Where I told these dudes, I said, man, it was a while ago. I said, man, these media dudes are real life pussy. If you ask me,
Ah,
like
yeah.
they're fucking
Yeah, I do.
dweebs, man.
When you was at the
Really
old,
not
when you
about,
was at
and
the
they
old
shouldn't
spot,
even hold their opinion as anything valuable.
when you was at the old spot, yeah.
Just like the WBC, we shouldn't hold the WBC valuable. We got to understand that we give them power about holding their opinion valuable.
All right. Did y'all people how the
Yeah,
WBA had came back on their they came back on their Earl Spence Ugas fight when the YouTubers start getting on the WBA ass type shit? You seen they came back on their jump?
exactly, because
we was
they
getting
know
on
it was
what?
biased that they were gonna stop a full unification to throw a crappy tournament. You know what I'm saying? And look, here's the crazy part about that tournament they was throwing. The guys that they wanted to put in the tournament had already been paid step aside fee once or twice. Stayonis and the other guy. You know what I'm saying? They already been paid step aside fee, meaning they cool with getting a check and a fight by BC as they wait for Ugas and Spence and all these guys for the dust to settle. Because these guys know eventually they're gonna fight for the WBA title regardless. You know what I'm saying? And so basically what they were doing, T and Art Man, check, they were just basically trying to hold up a
You got,
unification. Would they
you
have
got,
done that for
They was trying to
Lomachenko?
get some more paper out
And
of
that
Alabama.
too. But they're gonna get that either way. And that's why I said what I said strongly about Devin Haney and the WBC and about Bill Haney coming down on Leonard Ellaby. But is he gonna come down on the WBC? Because they basically told him, you're our junior champion. You're
Right.
our regular
they
champion.
came back on that, Julius.
Cambosis is our,
Julius,
huh?
they came back on that.
Yeah, they retracted that. That
They
that
came
was
back on that, Julius. But
They
they let you know.
What did they
retracted,
say
But they
after
let
that?
you
What
know
did they
they
say
full of
after
shit
that?
though. They let you know they full of shit though because they
but
came
yeah,
back.
I'm saying, look,
Oh,
if
so
they
Devin-
retracted, they said that before as well. Remember when Lomachenko, they said it 2 or 3. If somebody say something 3 times, no matter how many times they go
They,
back, you
they
know that
tried
that's
to
what
make
they
it
really
official.
feel.
Yeah, they tried to make it official though that last time, dude. Like for real. They tried to make it official, but then they even went back on and said, "Nah, we ain't gonna do it," because they saw how what the drawback was. How y'all just gonna make his belt, which is just like everybody else belt. It's the same belt Charlo got, same belt Josh Taylor got,
Right.
same belt Estrada got, same belt Earl Spence got, same belt Gary Russell got, same belt
Right.
anyway got. You know,
But
WBC it's the same belt
how many
everybody else.
times?
So how y'all gonna make his belt the pride belt when it's the exact same belt? The different belt is the one y'all trying to cover, which is the franchise
It's the
belt. Y'all trying
franchise.
to make it official.
Right.
That's the only different belt. Devin Haney got the same belt that Sugar Ray had, that Tommy Hearn had, that Duran had. He got the same belt they had. Y'all on that bullshit.
But
can
did
I
you hear
say
all them black
But
guys
how
name
many times are you gonna let somebody keep going
something,
back
T?
on that? You know, keep going back and forth for whether they respect you or disrespect you as their champion. How many times is that gonna be okay? It don't matter how many times Mauricio Suleiman keeps going back and forth.
Right.
Can I add him?
And I feel you, Alan. Like, why do you even need that title? I'm not trying to be disrespect Devin Haney, but why do you even want that title after they look, man? We got it. Look, Riddick Bowe years ago threw the title in the trash can, and he had a little backlash. But there come a time, man, when it is other organizations, it is other titles out there, it's other weight classes out there. Throw that belt in the trash can. Why would you pay that guy another sanctioning fee? For what? He's clearly disrespected.
I honestly feel like these dudes don't want to get blackballed, so they do shit, you know. And the money's comfortable already.
I think it's a little. I think Devin I think Devin feel like he the best 135er, and I think he want that undisputed because he deserve it. But I don't got like I get what you saying. I feel y'all. I get what you saying, Julius.
He's never gonna get an undisputed fight at 135.
They got to give it to him. They got to give it to him soon, Julius. It ain't nothing else to do. Ain't nothing else for him to do.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something, T. For the many years I've been in boxing, watching boxing, and see scandals go on, bro, just because something seemed very obvious that it should happen, if you black, it won't happen. They are not gonna give Devin Haney an undisputed title fight unless Gervonta Davis fights him. If it ain't Tank Davis that would fight him, no other fighter out there is going to fight him in an undisputed title fight.
Julius, let's just say Lomachenko, and then now they saying that they came off the Lomachenko fight and they back at Devin Haney. But let's just say that Lomachenko and Kambosos fight, right? What else will be after that? What else will be after that?
If Lomachenko wins, Lomachenko will fight top ranked guys. He'll fight maybe Shakur or maybe Burchett or Valdez. I mean, think about it, man. These guys get real creative when they duck.
Man, when I see, I'm gonna keep it 100. When I seen Canelo skate out of the mandatory fight with Charlo, I said, dude, they're capable of doing anything because
that's the same
for
reason.
them to create a belt that came out of nowhere, that you can't even see,
for the same reason, Art, for the same reason. That's why I want Devin Haney and Charlo to keep their belts so bad, because what people won't tell you is, guess who belt Charlo really walking around here with right now?
Canelo.
It's Canelo belt, bro. That's Canelo belt,
right?
And that's why I want him to keep it. And guess who belt Devin Haney really walking around here with right now? It's two niggas belts now. Three. And T.O. Three. That was three. And Campbell, the Devin Haney, the bully out here, dog. I'm telling you, that's why I want them to keep them belts. But guess what? We got the WB. It used to mean a lot. It used to mean a lot, right? WBC belt used to mean a lot. But they got the WBC. Y'all gotta come get that motherfucker. They gotta come get that motherfucker.
And I the only thing about the Canelo situation,
for this comment, teach. I'm gonna keep it 100. I honestly believe the days of giving Mauricio Sulaiman the benefit of the doubt is over.
You know,
so we gotta take everything for what he said, face value. You know, if that's what he feels like, he should have said it.
You see what Mark
said? He was trying to finesse him, bro. See, Sulaiman, he created the franchise. Yeah, it's a duck status. You know what I'm saying? He was hoping that all the other organizations hopped on board with it. That way, they can remove the regular WBC strap as the piece that counts for undisputed. That's why Devin Haney shouldn't drop his belt. Yeah, two people can't pay the same sanction fees for one belt. They got two different sanction fees. Keep that belt. Yes, Sulaiman gonna keep contradicting himself. He's gonna keep contradicting himself. So it's on wax. It's recorded. Take all that shit, and when it come time, take his ass to court, sue his ass. You know what I'm saying? Keep that belt, because the other organizations are not recognizing the franchise belt. That's why you think Sulaiman and WBC the only ones that saying it. They don't give a fuck about no franchise belt.
They want him to drop it, Art. They want him to drop that whole Art so they can get it, so they can sweep it up.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's why I told people. Jojo Diaz beat Haney. Is he winning the franchise? I mean, is he winning the email belt, or is he winning the world title? I want to know.
Well, now,
Hey, look, man, I'm gonna say
now
this
it's the
right
world
here.
title again since he got that backlash and everybody wrote his ass. Now it's the real belt again.
Yeah, I feel like what's his name? I feel like Mauricio Sulaiman was starting to hear rumblings of niggas getting sued, and now he's trying to
Yeah,
switch things up
Yeah, because
that's
he's trying
it.
to finesse. He's trying to finesse
because
and
that's a
power
real
move.
life suit.
Everybody
If
yeah.
to my knowledge, if it's the way it's presented, like they're saying, you know, that WBC champion over here is Haney, and WBC
Ain't
champion
even
over
feel like
here
this. We just feel like yesterday.
is George Kambosos, and they're minimizing my championship, and I'm still paying sanction and fees.
Hey,
That's a legit lawsuit.
hey, look,
That's a
Art, and
legit
I'm
lawsuit
gonna
right
give
there.
y'all an example of something. This happened when Mauricio father, Jose Suleiman, was the president. Okay, it's a guy. He's a European fighter. Okay, so I probably butcher his name, but his name was Rashigingi, and he was the WBC light heavyweight champion. And the next thing you know, Roy Jones fought in like a undisputed or a unified fight with the WBC belt and won it. And this guy sued, and he got money like 5-10 years later from the WBC, to the point that even today they still owe him a title fight if he decide he want to fight, even though the man's almost 47 years old. So this ain't the first time I've seen the WBC do this to a fighter. They did it to him in the 90s. You can Google this. But here's my point on the WBC and Devin Haney. Bro, I don't think Devin Haney's body is going to continue to hold up to be able to wait around for an undisputed fight. The
That's
kid
why he
is a
needs
big
it
guy.
right. That if it's not his
50
next fight,
pounds.
he needs to go up a weight.
He
Devin,
needs to go up. You stick around, waiting around for a fight and squeezing into a weight class that you no longer is, I think that's a remedy to get beat.
Hey, it's detrimental to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you like you going against the grain. Your body going at a
Right.
local pace. Like
Exactly.
I'm too big for this. I can't. I'm bringing myself and my energy level down, and drying myself out trying to get to this way. He already said it. So I agree with that, man. It's just until then, keep that belt, because hey, you got a case to sue the shit out of them. And you might, it might bring their ass down even further. I don't know, but it's a corrupt sport, so they gonna keep trying to move the pendulum and switch, the phrase every time he can. That's why I say, now hold the belt, because then 1 minute you the champ, next minute you not. Keep all that shit. It's on wax. Take that shit to your lawyer and take it to court. Then you can't say, oh, he ain't contradicting himself. You constantly doing it. But why is he so fixated on 135, y'all? I don't know what it is about 135, but Suleiman got a sweet spot for this division.
They won't
He
Devin.
don't do it in no other division but this one. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the fact because
he did.
G5. If you really pay attention, man, they try. Okay, Jojo Diaz, right? Yeah, Russell about to fight Magaso, right?
Yep.
Cool Boy just fought Figueroa. Do y'all see a pattern?
Right.
Y'all see what I'm getting at? They trying to get us. They trying to get us off their belts, and there's no disrespect to no nations and nothing like that, because y'all route y'all people just like we do. That's why I fuck with y'all. I feel like y'all the best boxers after us. They just have to feel. I know y'all probably feel like no, y'all the best. We maybe not however y'all feel about it, but I feel like they trying to get us off their belts anyway. You know what I mean? I feel like they trying to get us off the belts anyway. Just me, the WBA too.
But and look, here goes another thing, man. I continue, the fighters, especially the black fighters, have always made these belts cool. Like we talk about Muhammad Ali, we talk about Larry Holmes, or
all of them.
Roy Jones, James Toney. We talk about all these black fighters that made the belts cool, man. These belts aren't cool because of just being the WBC. Like, there's nothing in boxing that's saying we have to only recognize this particular belt as the champion. Like, nobody has made that rule. It ain't like the NBA where the only one champion, the NBA champion. Like, who made that rule? Like, who made that rule? Who said we got to go with the WBA, the WBC, and IBF and WBO? Why we can't go with the NBO? I'm just using for example, man. Stop giving these guys credibility and prestige. We don't have to roll with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, man, we can make our own belt. Who's to say that belt isn't the right belt?
Well,
I never gave him power.
I put it like this. I don't give them
That's
power,
for sure.
but you know, we gotta also look at that the greats before them held those belts. They want to be a part of history just like the greats did. You know what I'm saying? The four
no, what I'm
sanctioning
saying
bodies.
is,
No, I get what you're saying. Just hear me
who
out real
made
quick.
those
The four,
sanctioning bodies the tell-all be-all? There's always been sanctioning bodies, but we say, okay, it's gonna be this one and that one. No matter how corrupt they are, they still keep their status. How?
The IBO used to mean something it don't now.
it don't,
Right.
because the four sanctioning bodies that we have in front of us all put the money up and came together and agreed on that this belt, and this belt, and this belt in our organization is gonna be what we call undisputed. So shit, they all in agreement. That's why shit they ain't saying nothing about the franchise belt, because they already know this belt, and these four belts in these organizations make undisputed. The IBO ain't got
They trying to
shit
make
to do with it. If they was gonna do it, they would have brought their ass to the table as well.
they trying
You know what I'm saying? Then they can control how they can do it or how they want to shift it. Okay, look at the WBA and the goddamn WBC. They've been the ones doing the most janky shit. Who gonna come and tell them that they can't do nothing?
Right.
You know,
Hey,
you
look,
can't get
man.
if they brought in an IBO, somebody over there probably like, hell no, I ain't fucking with this shit. And then what they gonna happen to them? They gonna get voted the fuck out, 4 against 1.
And
Get
this
their
is
ass, get the
why
fuck
I
out of here.
don't. And this is why I don't support Bob Arum and Top Rank. The guy, out of all these janky, corrupt organizations, this guy testified and went to the FBI on the IBF, the only organization that had a black president then and now.
And he was working with him.
And got him sent and got Bob Lee, rest in peace, Bob Lee. Bob Lee sent to prison. But
Julius,
all these organizations were corrupt.
Julius, say what it is.
So what was the story? What was the story on that anyway?
All right, he snitched on them. They was working together, and he snitched. He got out because he wasn't getting enough money. He wasn't getting enough of it. He thought, and he snitched on them, and they went to jail. And Bob Arum became the Top Rank.
And this was in the 90s. But here's the thing I'm saying. He snitched. Every organization, you can go and give Mauricio Suleiman a bag. You can pull him in a back room, say, Mauricio, here's 15, 20,000, 50,000. I want my fighter ranked in the top 5. And the next thing you see an unknown guy ranked in the top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, man. Look at Ocampo when he fought Earl Spence. What had Ocampo did that warranted even a fight with anybody? And he became the mandatory
out of nowhere mandatory
stuff like that. It's so much corruptness that go on, man, that it just slide past us like an unknown fighter. Except what happened in Minnesota when that situation when they had to cheat off Fox. You know what I'm saying? That was just too blatant. But that's the only time we see it.
Yeah, and I think it was who was that? Not Mayorga, Mariaga or somebody. They thought like a ranked number 14. No, recent. Yeah. The number 11 and number 14 fought, and they became the number 1 mandatory. How the fuck the 11 and 14 fight and you jump to number 1? Yep. Nigga, what? You skipped the whole top 10.
Y'all think about it like this, though. You know, a lot of these sanctioning bodies are working with these belt organizations. You know, y'all remember when Bob Arum tried to sue Al Heyman? Bob Arum and I think it was Oscar De La Hoya. They tried to sue Al Heyman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're working together. They're just not working with with Al Heyman.
Them
They're
boy was
looking against Al Heyman. That's why.
And
That's
y'all
why a
know
lot
Al
of these
Heyman
fucking
and them
writers
used to
can
work.
say
Al Heyman and them used to work with
that.
them. All used to work together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
and
why
they trying to fuck him.
that's why
Al peeped the
it feel
play.
like it's so much vigor and vulgar towards the PBC and shit, because it is. Because they all used to work together and then they left. And a lot of them
See,
fighters and shit went with Al Heyman. A lot of them fighters went with Al Heyman. You know what I
hey,
mean?
a lot of them folks thought he was just another black man who came across the money, who
This is
wasn't
my
intelligent
conversation. I
enough
like
to
this
see
conversation. This is my
the play
conversation.
that's in front of him. So y'all think
he was
y'all just gonna
intelligent.
pull some wool over this man's eyes like he ain't been dealing with professional and pop stars and R&B singers who are
Man, they
millionaires. You think he don't know how to take care of business and do
facts.
business contracts? So now
That's
y'all actually shitting on this man's intelligence, and y'all thought
Man,
y'all just gonna fuck him over and he just gonna keep on
man,
walking away with it and just tuck his tail like, oh, I'm cool. He's like, y'all got me fucked up. I got a paper trail on all y'all. We going to court.
and
hold on one
Yeah.
second. Let me cook real quick,
him
y'all.
court
And it's just
So
like
because they were
it's
trying
I'm
to
just
over
like
sue
here
him for
reading,
hold
something.
right?
on. It's
act like it
They were
according to Bob.
Hold on one second. So I'm over here reading, right? Basically, what my brother Southern T said, that Bob Arum did testify on the IBF. This shit is
I
wild.
don't
So
be
you're telling me that boxing promoters were paying sanctioning bodies to rearrange
Mm-hmm.
the
all right.
rankings for them?
All right.
Yeah.
Who would have
How
thought?
does Bob know
Who would
all
have
this?
thought?
How does Bob
Yeah.
know all this?
Is the reason why niggas can come into the boxing game with only 2 pro fights and have a fucking title shot?
Bingo. Because Bob was setting this shit up and he when he snitched on my boy.
Yeah. They went to court and they wonder why, oh, Bob,
Yeah,
they say that, two sides speak what Bob don't do with him. Nigga, you already tried to cut my water off, homie. The
bingo.
fuck you
And
mean?
the
Why I'm gonna
WBO,
do business with you?
the
That's anybody
WBO,
up here. Man, you try to top their paper. You think they're gonna keep willing to do business with you? Hell
and then
no.
Bob got sour. The WBO was the last belt in, which is Bob's belt. That's why he got that belt been around, but it became a major belt. I'm not really sure exactly what year, but he was already sour about that. And that's why he got his own belt, which is WBO type shit.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico. Hey man, long live Bob Lee, rest in peace, because this started with Bob Lee. Bob Lee had a working relationship with Bob Arum and Don King where they were
Bingo.
buying rankings. But let me say this, bro. You
I'm
know,
reading it right now.
Bob Arum is a guy that took Al Heyman to court because he wasn't trying to take Al Heyman to court for chess, for any type of fight or anything. He was basically saying that the man was running a monopoly, which is illegal. It's illegal. He was trying to get charges put on Al Heyman. And
Yeah,
people,
those are real life. Those are real life charges right there.
right.
That's
Yep.
one of the things that they taught us in school.
Bob the
One of the things they
police,
taught me in
he's a
school is
rat.
that it's very
Then,
illegal
He
to
a
have a
rat,
monopoly
y'all. Y'all
then
think
he
in
put in
America.
there. He's violating the Ali Act and all this other shit. I'm like, damn, he really
no,
tried to cut this man water off, man.
man is a rat. Man. He been
They
snitching
try
on,
to cut
he
that man
been,
water off.
he
Yeah,
been snitching on people. Fred exposed him
Yep.
last year. Y'all remember this shit? He been
Yeah.
snitching on bro since the beginning of time, bro. Bob been working with them people. Let me stop talking about
Hey, cause see,
He was
people don't
turned for the
understand. You just gotta ask people questions. They gonna tell on themselves. Just let them talk. Let them talk. People come out with that rah energy, bro. Their defense mechanism will come up. It's a man. I don't care if he got bitch in his blood or he a liar or whatever. You come at him with all that rah shit, he not gonna answer the question that you want to get asked. You're gonna get some resistance. That's why you ask them and let them talk, tell on themselves. He done
Bingo.
told on himself so many times, but Bud talking about he got a good heart. Really? Really?
Hey man, y'all take care, guys. I gotta run, man.
Dude.
For sure, man. Be safe.
Peace, Julius.
All right, bro. All
yeah.
right,
Be
all right, man.
safe, man.
Top
All
rank
right.
will only do business with Kick Science just said something. Top rank will only do business with PBC when they feel like they fight a guy in advantage. That's why they like, well, Top rank is this against Al Heyman side. That's because Al Heyman don't like he go the fighters say yes, you know what I mean? So he gonna let them fight. Top rank only go put them the fights that make sense for the PBC. Top rank not gonna make them fights. Why you think Bud and Earl ain't getting made? Oops. Because that shit it's not gonna work because they not so sure about that one. Why you think Manny and Bud didn't get made, even though they both top ranked? Because he wanted Manny to be the face of the company. He wasn't sure about that. Why said
and then
he's not sure about
Bomac turned it down too. So
they not gonna get made. Why said he not? She only
Yeah,
go.
he
I'm
did.
surprised that PBC got any wins off them because they only be in upset fight. You know what I mean?
yeah, but see, they could have got the
Yep.
Manny fight. He would have did that because
When
it was gonna generate some dollars.
Fury fought Wilder, he wasn't even top ranked. He was a free agent.
No,
Wilder picked him up out the game.
Bob swindled him
Bingo.
over
So
there. That's all that was.
bingo.
The fight was already signed for the rematch. When Bob Arum got the fight, was already signed, still delivered. He just picked them up at ESPN and dropped them off that $100 million.
Bingo.
That's what they did. See, people like, well, Fury and Wilder got made. It did get made. He just became his new promoter, Jack. It was already in the works and signed and sealed. Why you think Wilder was going so hard when Fury was delaying the shit? Duh. See, people don't look at the facts that be right in front of their face. Why men gonna be trying to tell you don't duck me and trying to, hey, don't delay about this rematch if it ain't already signed or he ain't been honored that shit. Like, shit that makes sense don't make sense. Common sense ain't that common these days.
I'm just saying, dog. Like you could we could say all of them fucked up, but don't forget who the OG and the Godfather is. Bob Arum.
Shit, he 90.
Don't forget.
You don't know.
We can say everybody fucked up, but don't forget who started this shit. Him and Don King. Let's be real. Him, Don King, and what's the other brother name that passed away? Damn, we just said his name. Don't forget who run this shit. Bob and black people, and Bob fucked over all the black people. And that ain't me making it up. We just Googled this shit. Our man probably looking at this shit right now. Mind blown.
Yeah, I'm still looking at this shit.
We just Googled it. It was him in a bunch of who? Black people.
Same way he swindled out of fucking a contract, a partnership with the Nation of Islam.
Elijah Muhammad. See, I'll wait for you to bring it up because I wasn't gonna bring it up first. Elijah Muhammad. I'm telling you, dog, dude been the rack, bro. Dude been the rack, bro.
Like, why people were trusting this man? He 90 years old. He almost 100 money. You think he ain't been around the whole game of boxing?
Think about
shit. And that's what I told people. I'm like, dude, Bob Arum's so old. He probably knows the people who work the commission's grandparent right now. He knew their grandparents type shit. He was probably there when the commission members was in fucking diapers. And you talking about he don't got no plug, no pull in boxing? Yeah, right.
Bob Arum
got hella pull because he been around for a very long time.
Exactly.
Wasn't Bob Arum a lawyer too?
20s. Yeah, he went. Yes, he went to Harvard.
Slimy motherfucker.
MP was good. MP.
He know how to get around this shit. He know how to do dirty business.
Yeah, because he know how to do business contracts.
Exactly. And
Guess who else
when Julius brought up that Mike Carpenter situation, who?
Al.
Right?
Al Haymon.
Al.
I already know.
You can't swim, and you can't. What they say, you can't slick a can of. You can't slick a can of oil. Can't slick
a slickster. Shit.
Right, you can't throw grease on oil.
I was just gonna say, I don't know that Mike Carpenter situation with Bob Arum. That was just because Mike Carpenter got out of turn. He know not to say no shit like that. That's why he got kicked out. It's like when you go against that grain of, oh, you're a paid informant. We pay you to prop up our friends. We pay you to do what we say, not question me.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I got caught out like that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they do.
They be working for a master. And you know what I'm saying? That's how they feed their family. They paying you $250, $300, $500,000 a year to push their agenda and narrative. If you look like you supporting and pushing the other team narrative, oh yeah, you got to go. You out of here. Adios. Quick, fast, and the hair.
Exactly.
That's why they expect some of these reporters, man, they gonna stay on code. You think it's not finna give up $500,000 a year to cater to a YouTube was fancy? What? Nigga, they are set in their life. They making plenty of bread. They not giving this shit up for nobody. I don't give a fuck who it is. Nah.
And when you think about it, these dudes are pre-positioned to dislike us anyway. They don't like us anyway, so it's easy for them to do stuff like that. It's
Speaking of Bob,
Wilder or EJ.
Alan,
Go ahead,
Bob 90 years old. Okay, now let's just say, okay, Bob not raised right. Let's just say, I don't know whether how y'all feel. He's not raised right, but think about the people who raised him if he's 90 years old. Not saying, I'm just think about that. You think about the mindset that they come from. You know what I mean? That in itself lets you see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and think about the people, the person that taught Bob the game in Top Rank. Another way, man, he was worse than Bob. He gave him the game. You know what I'm saying? It's just a domino effect. I'm gonna show you how to fuck over the game. And you know what I'm saying? You already know how to do business contract. Yeah, I'm gonna show you how to take over and finesse the game and always come out unscathed and make plenty of money. Man, worth 300 million. You 90 years old. What you gonna do with all that goddamn revenue in the game? Right. You ain't gonna live long enough to spend that money.
That's for his grandkids.
Man, it's for somebody.
That's why they'll keep you down as long as they families can eat the generations. They don't care who they gotta fuck over. That's why I feel like we gotta have that mindset as well. You know, like it's us against anybody. Anybody that's trying to take food off your plate, they gotta go. That's how they think. We don't think like that all the time. We rather shoot somebody that looks like us, but when it comes to a white man, you give him all the respect in the world. You know, it's some people that think like that.
They be being too nice. And the worst part, the company men that's former boxers, they the worst. Y'all the worst scumbags because y'all been in the sport and been a part of it from an athletic point of view. You done seen the fuckery going on. Then you want to get up here and not keep it real. Yeah, see, that is what get the casual fans believing all these weak ass narratives. Especially the former fighter. Y'all gonna go ahead and run what they telling y'all. They don't know shit. They know of your name, so they gonna believe what you say.
You said Tim Bradley. You said Tim Bradley. Who you say?
Sambo Bradley.
Who you say?
That's exactly.
I just said Tim.
Dudes like
Andre Ward kind of came off. He said a little bit. Andre Ward been like he been kind of going ham lately. Like
but
Andre Ward was really pissed off about that Wilder versus Fury 3.
He
really know Tyson Fury shouldn't have won that fight.
He ain't been holding back. He said
he said a live on air. He said that count.
That's a long count. I don't like that. That ain't good.
Long count, man. It's so crazy. Speaking of long count, they just posted a clip of the Wilder versus Fury.
And he said,
trying to make like a little funny video of Fury talking about some after you want to get up for the second round of meal or whatever, Christmas dinner, whatever bullshit or whatever. But long story short, they posted the clip 12 seconds long, and it's the clip of Tyson Fury getting up from the knockdown.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the fuck the video 12 seconds long and he get up at the 12-second mark and the ref still on 7? And that's on their own clip.
You're right.
Yeah, Daniel.
They talk about some and it's so it's crazy that the fans don't even deny that it was a long count. They just blame Wilder and say things like, well, Wilder should have walked to the appropriate corner, or well, it's not up to the count, it's up to the ref. I mean, like, dude, y'all know the count is long, right? They know it's long, but they just like, man, we just don't want to take this away from Fury, so fuck it.
And what they deny is, how does the count stop at 6 and the man walk both of them to a neutral corner? Ain't the count supposed to keep going? Ain't that what you got a time keep up in the corner for? So you walk both of them to the corner and come back at 6 and start 7, 8. Nigga, you just wasted like 5-6 seconds walking both of them to the corner. How did your time stop? Bro, it doesn't stop.
That's what this person come back where you at. Yeah, face.
Like, you stop the whole pause the count. We're gonna stop it right here. And when I come back, we're gonna count again. This nigga on the mat doing the Baywatch pose. You gave him time to do everything.
Mind you, I'm at the fight, right? I'm at the fight. And before Wilder and Fury come out, nigga, they showing a little mini documentary about long counts in boxing. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Trying to pepper up the crowd to get them, to get them to understand that, hey man, in boxing, we do have long ass counts.
And then he didn't like the second count. He felt like that was long too. He said something on both of them. He's like, man, I don't like that, man. Something ain't right about
And then
that.
you see why Wilder talking about he want to retire because he like, bro, you niggas is fucked up. First of all, y'all let the nigga fight me on pads, and then y'all allow him to come in with the special horsehair glove that nobody ever can buy. And then this long count shit. The man Wilder like, dude, man, fuck this shit, dude. I brought the heavyweight division back just for this shit.
The only thing that man
I
owes,
fight.
the only people that
Think
man
about it.
owes is his family.
Everybody will talk about Fury on the couch and all that shit before he gets to fight Wilder. Wilder had 10 consecutive title defenses prior to fighting Tyson Fury. You know how much wear and tear it is on your body to have 10 consecutive fights prior to fighting Fury?
Yep.
A guy that outweighs you and way taller than you. And he on drugs. This is your 11th fight. After a 10 championship fight, consecutive fight. Nobody can find them damn gloves. I can't pull up on YouTube, Google to buy them gloves. I can buy the same gloves that Wilder was wearing. I can't buy the gloves Fury was wearing.
Because they
I can buy the gloves that Kali was wearing in the his Path of Sport gloves. I can buy those gloves right now. But I can't buy the special Gypsy King fucking hat. And then they want to talk about the commission wants to bring all these gloves here. It says, hey man, let's cut in the inside of this glove and you can check inside the glove. You can check and see, yes, how faulty this shit is. But hey, it don't matter because the rest of these gloves are faulty as well. And this guy, according to boxing, with a laugh and a ha-ha and shit, it's all good. I ain't mad. Y'all can have y'all boar penis eating champion if y'all want. But me being a fan of the sport and me being somebody that's realistic, I understand that there's things that you could do in boxing to alter the outcome of the fight. Heads, referee choices,
judges,
glove choices. Motherfucker, dude, I done heard stories of boxers checking in hotels and the hotels giving them a hard time, making sure they can't sleep so the fighter won't have enough rest going to the fight the next morning or whatever.
That shit you just said was proven this year with Michael Fox and the wife being and the judge being the wife of a WBA. You know what I mean? So if you want to pick the fight from up top, let's say you had somebody, sister, brother, or wife, as a judge, he could tell his wife, pick this person. He could tell that shit at home because that's his wife. Hey, pick this person.
Yeah, and they fail to forget that.
So it comes from the
fighters,
top.
Yeah, fighters put in their custom requests for their gloves and how they want them to the damn glove makers. So yeah, they had the shit in there, but they had way less horsehair in that motherfucker. Fury had them made like that. That's why you can't find them. It's like a custom pair of J's.
It's like this with the glove. It's like this with the glove situation. A guy who's a pro Fury fan, he told me, he said, man, I didn't try to buy gloves from people, and they asked me if I want to buy the horsehair gloves with used horsehair inside of it, which means once you start punching with the gloves, the horsehair separates. And by the fucking 5th round, 6th round, it's already fucking full knuckles. But they want to sit here and say, oh, no, that ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Dude, I can't buy those gloves right now.
You never will.
These motherfuckers, and my thing is like this. I'm not going back and forth with no boxing fans who think that this sport is some type of sport where it's about fairness. Black folks, we got to understand this. We have a problem, y'all. We really do have a problem, black folks. We mistake our enemies for having the same type of realness that we have. We expect our enemies to not be cheaters and swindlers and thieves. We expect our opponents to come in just like us, just off of pure strength, skill, and determination. God-given talent.
Well,
that's what we expect. I got a dude that I chop it up with daily, and he frustrated with Wilder. he be telling me things like, dude, Wilder should have took Pence too, man. Because just knowing that the games that these people play, they ain't gonna fight you fair. So you should have came in there dirty too. And it's fucked up to think like that, but it's like when you at war, ain't no fucking rules to this shit, man. Ain't no rules. So we
Nah.
need to stop thinking like we gotta be just like we gotta be, sincere. You see how these people rolling? They let Valdez go into a fight with
I
drugs
was
in the
just gonna
system,
say the
man.
difference is they're not
And
gonna
they
let
ain't saying nothing
they're not gonna
about it,
let us
dude.
do that.
The company that you hired to protect your fighters from fighting people on drugs caught your fighter with the performance enhancing drugs in the system. And you said disregard that company that I hired to find drugs in people's system. Disregard their word. We're gonna let this man rock. The shit was it was such a setup. They even had an event, a WBC statue and all that shit ready for Valdez for him to win the next day.
Already.
So he had to win that fight that night. Boy. And it's such a fix. It's such a fix. Go to YouTube. Go to the highlights of Valdez versus Robson. I swear you would see Robson land more than 3 punches in that highlight.
Hey, that's why I
That's
say
just me,
fuck
man.
being fair.
Yeah.
Fuck being
Fuck that
fair.
phony shit, man. We ain't playing.
I ain't talking
Michael
about like me
Phelps.
personally.
Yeah.
I don't know like no cages or nothing, but as far as me, like if y'all not gonna be fair to my fighters, I'm not gonna be fair to y'all. So I'm gonna play the same games y'all play, but they don't like it when I do that. Then I gotta be fair. Fuck y'all and fuck being fair. So the same biases that y'all have against my fighters, I'm gonna use those same talking points, and it gets them every time. So it ain't about being fair. It ain't about being right. It's about them getting any advantage that they can to be on top. Like Art said. So I ain't trying
Ain't
to
no
hear all that shit.
fairness in this game.
Hey, Art, I'm glad
If
you
it was
said that.
if it was
I was
fairness,
cooking on
y'all would
something
be
like
pushing
that.
for the Teofimo. I mean, y'all be pushing for the George Kambosos versus Haney fight right now because y'all want undisputed and y'all care about belts.
Right.
I got motherfuckers telling me a guy with 2 L's and no belt deserves an undisputed fight over a champion that's undefeated. All because he beat a guy who got stopped. One fight prior. And he couldn't even stop the motherfucker. He couldn't even stop Richard Commey. You supposed to be this great fighter, but you couldn't stop a man that already been stopped.
With one gear.
One gear. And since round 1, Richard Commey looked hella drained. He looked drained. He looked weak, wobbly. He looked so weak that you could push him over, he'll fall over in that damn fight.
Footwork trash. Like he had him hurt and couldn't
And
even
nobody want
finish.
to talk about how old Richard Commey is. They want to talk about Luis Ortiz. You think Richard Commey really the age he said he is? All right. Boy. Shit, don't just think that the Latinos from Cubans are the ones that get to change their birth. I know a lot of Africans here in Minnesota who are not the age that the documentation say they are. So, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling. Lomachenko went in there with a dude that's probably 43. Way past that weight limit, 135. But couldn't stop him. And he deserted George Kambosos' fight? The fuck out of here. They want Cam to fight Loma because Loma's their Floyd, their Ali. Straight up. And I clown them all the time. I said the reason why they be boosting the hell out these fighters is because this is the only one that they have left. It's the only guys that they got left. Meanwhile, we got several. Pick 'em. Said Richard Coleman looked like somebody 40-year-old father. Facts. Richard Coleman, he like 40.
I know Ringo.
Yeah, he looked like he about 44.
I know Ringo at least 40.
You know what I'm saying?
Ringo at least 40.
And I'll be there to defend the BS like they do to people. Yep, me too. Said they'll never happen. They get popped one time and all they talk about. Said sports and cheat are forever connected and it'll be the more it's worth, the worse cheating will be. Of course, dude. Like, and that's what I used to tell people when the whole Wilder Fury saga, when they used to be like, why would they conspire against Wilder? And I'm like, dude, what you mean? Why would they conspire? They're literally telling you the price tag of what would happen if Wilder was out of the way. $150 million site fee to fight Joshua. And they talk about why would they conspire against Wilder? Dude, get the fuck out of my face.
And then Joshua blew it. And then Joshua blew it.
Hey, the goal is to have a white face be the face of boxing. They can't do it naturally because let's just be honest. I mean, if natural for natural, athletically, we more gifted. That's why they have to use an additive to add so they can be on an even playing field. Okay, I was hooking on this last night. Just because you're a real man, you can't expect people to hold the same values and morals and goals that you have just because you're a solid individual. It's people that can recognize that, like, all right, cool, I know he'll be loyal to me, but shit, I'm still a fuck nigga. You know what I'm saying? So they not gonna hold the same morals and goals that you hold as a person. Like, you can't expect everybody to do that. And I'm glad you said that, Art, because I was talking about this last night. Man, you cannot expect everybody to think and view things like you because you feel like it's right. And this boxing was ran by the mafia. Why the hell do you think that this shit is gonna be a legit organization? Mafia, politicians, you know what I'm saying? Anybody you could name it that had something to do with some shady ass business, they always been a part of boxing. So, man, this game ain't gonna never be fair. So, you know, you gotta fight fire with fire. You know what I'm saying? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know what people don't get that.
I always tell people, I'm like, dude, I couldn't be no boxer because I'd probably get assassinated on some shit. Probably 2, get blackballed on some shit. Or 3, probably get set up on some shit. Because it's like, the type of person I am, I would have to speak out on the racist bullshit that they're doing. Like, I couldn't beat Charlo, and I have the Ring Magazine belt, and they don't even have me on the Ring Magazine rankings.
Yeah,
right. Pound for pound list. Like, boy, what? Nigga, and then they turn around and talk about you gotta pay a sanction fee. Nigga, please. Boy, I wish somebody would say I have the Pride belt. Well, I'm like, boy, well, shit, you about to get this Pride lawsuit real fast.
Can I also interject or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know if it's a good workable idea, but maybe, like, you know, we as black fight fans, you know, maybe we should like try to like encourage black fighters to like come together so that way we could create our own like fighters, you know, Black Murderers Real Fight League, maybe something like that, so that way we could work against all these racist, you know, old media outlets that are trying to like put black people down. And you know, that way that can innovate, let the markets to, you know, interject to say, okay, well, if black people have like their own, like, you know, let's just say, you know, like we call it like the Black, you know, Ultimate Fighting Champions League, and it's just all straight up, you know, like your favorite black athlete fighters that go at it, then that'll just basically swing everybody that likes to see the greatest fighters in the world to watch all the black fighters, and then that'll basically tear down all the Lomachenkos and all the hype job fighters, and then that way, yeah, and then that way that'll start to marketize things a lot better to you know, innovate better high level competitive, like, you know, combat sports viewership.
But you know what kills that?
What?
Independent success. Because people be like, why would I think like a team when these guys are offering me money right now to stay and fight on their platform?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about that. It's like, yeah, man, it's like, but I get what you're saying, but fighters, they got to realize that we're the talent. We are the talent. Nobody says, I'm going to watch boxing so I can listen to Jim Lemley talk. Or I'm watching boxing just so I can see fucking Larry Merchant. No, they watch boxing to see the fucking talent. They watch boxing to see Sugar Ray Leonard and shit. Not to see these guys. And that's the thing. Can you imagine boxing with just George Kambosos versus Lomachenko, uh, Joe Smith Jr. versus Caleb Johnson, and that's just the main fights. Those are the pay-per-view fights. Can you imagine that?
Trash.
Can you imagine a pay-per-view fight? Fucking Adam Kalnaki versus Rabin Helenius 3 as the headliner on the undercard. Vito Kanauki, whatever, versus the guy he just fought last night, and Joey Spencer versus the guy he fought last night for $75. Meanwhile, there's a card of motherfucking Frank Martin versus Haney, Tank versus Shakur Stevenson, Arrow versus Bud for $75. Which platform would you go? What would you go watch? You would watch the black card, right? Because that's where the fucking talent is at. And not saying that those fighters aren't talented as well, but it's just like we got to keep it real, man. Our eyes are not deceiving us. You know who's the goods. Don't let these sanctioning bodies, who, as we see, it's documented that these guys get paid out to make certain moves to make a certain fighter look like this, you know. So it's not out the realm of possibilities, man. But my dude Will says salute to Art Man and the panel. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the channel, man. Plus Magamel Bud, don't just subscribe to the Black Colors. They want to crossover. Yeah. So when can I get a wrench? Oh yeah, I thought I gave you a wrench, but I can do that shit right now. I figured out how to do it. But yeah, man, you couldn't imagine a fucking Lomachenko and fucking imagine a Lomachenko, Usyk, George Kambosos versus white opponents card versus going against the Wilder versus whoever card, and Errol Spence versus whoever card. You know what I'm saying? Just an all black card versus an all white card. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100, man. I don't know, baby. Yep. But shit, man. What you guys on? I'm getting ready to head out and head to the gym, man.
Oh, nothing really. That PBC fight card last night was trash, but
I ain't watched that shit. I ain't watched that shit at all.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I'm getting ready to head out. I gotta go to the gym, man. I gotta get these reps in. I've been slacking. I took like a week off. I've been eating nothing but snacks and shit. Good thing I'm not a fighter and have to be on weight. That's how you fucking up. Always. But shout out to you guys. We're gonna go back live again, probably later on, like the next couple hours. But
Art.
shout out to you guys.
Art.
Artman Boxing, artmanhero.com.